Mr. Nick. You know that? Yeah. My kids do that. Oh, okay. I was always Mrs. whatever, but now it's more common for that. All right.
Your kids call you Mr. Nick?
No. All right.
Mr. Nick.
Hey, Nick, you talked a lot about the operation over at Lincoln Financial Field with the new coordinators. How did that work out from your perspective?
The more we can get over there and do things like that, and even simulate that over here at practice, which we will, is good for us. We're going to be able to do that again Thursday. But that's such a good operation to be able to go through. The Kellen calling the personnel. The coaches reacting to it. Same Vic being upstairs as the defense goes. Just the communication between Kellen and I of, hey, here's what I'm thinking on fourth down. As far as us going for it, hey, how does that look on third down? And just being in that clicking over and saying, hey, Coach Clay, here's what I'm thinking on fourth down. So just that, you can't get enough of that. That type of practice for us, I'm not even to the players yet. That kind of practice for us is what we do during the game, right? And so for the coaches, it's outstanding. For the players, it's outstanding too, because they're in a flow of a game where it's call it periods where they don't know. Sometimes what play is about to be called because some plays in practice are scripted, but here they don't. They have to react to the situation. They have to react to the play call. They have to react to the personnel call, and so. That's so beneficial for us. And then just being able to get our new guys out there that haven't played here in Philly to be able to see our fans and how passionate they are and how many people showed up for a practice. I mean, that's outstanding. And I think that just gets everybody fired up. It's like, hey, this is what home field advantage feels like in Philadelphia.
What have you seen out of Will Shipley now that he's had the pads on?
Yeah, Will, we thought very highly of Will coming out and the things that he could do. He obviously had a really outstanding spring. He started off really good in the fall camp, and as the pads come on, we'll keep getting more and more information. As that goes. He plays big. I think. I think he has. He plays. And when you look at him, he's built. Right? His lower body's really built. He really. He's there. I keep saying it to our coaches. Like, there's things about him that remind me of Danny Woodhead. Just the style of his body. Now Danny was a little shorter, I think, but I think they're just the way they're kind of built remind me of each other, and some of the things that they do. And so I look forward to him continuing to progress. We're really excited about him. The groups, his running back group's excited about him, and I'm excited for him to get some good reps in this game coming up and this week's of practice.
Now that you've seen Mekhi Becton for a few days at right guard, what are your impressions of him there, and what does he have to do to maybe earn a starting spot?
Yeah, consistency is the big thing of what we want. Yeah, he played. I thought he had a good scrimmage. We went through it like a game. Gave grades like a game. Gave the amount of plays they had, grades, everything like that. And we thought he played really well. And so, I like the things that he can do, but we're so early here in this. We've only had pads on 3 days, 2 days. We got a lot of football left to play. I don't want to say, hey, he's got to do this to earn this. He's in a competition for his job, and I'm excited about the possibilities that we have there with the other pieces that we have there.
Nick, any concerns about the defense? It seemed like the offense on Thursday night just kind of, marched right down the field.
That's how camp goes. Camp's back and forth, and here my experience with practice is it's never as good as you think and it's never as bad as you think and that's when we go back, and that's offensive. Hey, the offense had a really good day. It's never as good as you think. There's mistakes that were made. Hey, the defense had a really good day. It's never as good as you think, and vice versa for both sides. And so, we're not tackling out. There's plays out there that I'm like, well, that was a tackle that I know the crowd went crazy, and maybe I don't know how you counted it as your stats. You're doing a great job with that, by the way. But I don't know how that plays itself out. But there's different, arm tackles that get through. They're not tackling the quarterback, so the rush is different at times. So you can't get caught up on, hey, this is what this looked like. You just got to fix the mistakes that happen. So I didn't think. Again, like I said, it's never as good. It's never as bad as you think. And I thought there was some good back and forth in that scrimmage that we have. Because, again, when the quarterback's not live, when they're not pushing up in the pocket, when the defensive tackles aren't throwing to the side and then getting a tackle on, there's plays on the offense that appear that they're probably bigger than what they are. Now, do we have things to clean up on both sides of the ball on defense? Yeah, but that's on both sides of the ball.
You create situations on the field during practice for your team. Maybe Thursday night, did you create situations for the coaches through your communication or any other day?
Yeah, of course. We do that all the time. We really look at our situational football and our situational awareness as an advantage. We look at it that we spend a lot of time on that, and that we know when they come up in the season and when they come up during practice, we're ready for it. It's our preparation for it. And I want these guys to feel confident. I wish you guys could sit in a meeting with us during that aspect where it's, I'm up there in front of the team and asking them questions. Hey, what are we doing here in this situation? And how quick and fast these guys are answering the questions as if they're in the game. And so we look at those things as a positive for us because of how much time we spend in it. And so it's a good opportunity for the coaches to be. Here's the thing on a situation. Coaches have to identify what situation we're in. Here's the situation we're in, and then we have to call the play accordingly. And then the players have to react to execute that play, but also execute the things within a situation. And that's what we're doing. And we spend so much time. There's a portion of every meeting devoted to that. There's a portion of every practice devoted to that, and there's a portion of every walkthrough devoted to that. We spend a lot of time on that. We take a lot of pride in it, and we're trying to be perfect in those aspects because we really believe that's an advantage for us.
The clip of CJ hitting the shot in the meeting, what's the backstory there? Why CJ in particular, and how often do you do it?
I'll tell you why Chauncey in particular. He didn't. We had an important meeting that day, and they were all shooting beforehand. The guys are really connecting in that team. Right before the team meeting, there's a little bit of a break, and I noticed guys are in there hanging out. Guys are in there shooting. We have a PlayStation in there. Guys are before when they have downtime, they're hanging out. You can't substitute connecting without, spending time together. You can't, you got to spend time together. So they're in there, and Chauncey hadn't made a shot. He wasn't even close. So we really needed our meeting, and they were having a good time. I'm like, you know what? Let's put something on this. Hey, meetings, the team meeting's canceled if Chauncey makes this, and he drilled it. So I don't know if he hustled me. He might have been hustling me. But he hit the shot. Guys went crazy. You can't simulate. And we made up the meeting the next day, right? They got a little bit of a break there, but we made up everything we needed to make up the next day. But you can't simulate those things, and those things are those are the building of the team. It's all those little things. Right, all that little thing, the time they spend together in the meeting beforehand, the communication they have at practice, all those little things add up to build a football team, to bring guys together. It's not the best group of individuals that win. It's not the best people on paper that win. It's the best teams that win. And so when you can kind of do stuff like that, it went in, and I'm like, oh my, we needed to go over the stuff that we went over and walked through. But then I really thought about it. I'm like, man, you could really see the guys coming together, them loving each other after that. And we made up the meeting anyway, but it was a hell of a shot by Chauncey. He hustled me.
Speaking of that with team building, what have you seen from Jalen so far in these first few practices, the stretch of training camp as a leader?
Yeah, he's done an outstanding job. He continues to lead. Through the way he works, he continues to lead through his communication with his teammates and bringing them along. He continues to lead by grabbing one of his teammates and making them better based off of his play and the things that he's seen. So he's been awesome on the field with the things that you can see, and he's been awesome off the field with the things you can't see. And that's just Jalen continuing to develop as a player in all aspects. And man, I'm excited for him to continue to grow as a player and be the best football player he can possibly be. He's had an outstanding start.
How close is Cooper to getting back, and how soon does he need to get back to really be part of the competition?
I'm obviously never going to put a timetable on these guys. He's doing as much as he can to get back as quick as he can, and I have utmost faith in our training staff and utmost faith in our strength and conditioning staff that they're doing everything they can do to get him back. And Cooper's attitude is that he'll do everything he can do to get back. like I told you guys before, obviously him not being out there, sets him back, right? Because he's not getting these reps. But what he can do is get those mental reps in the meeting. He can get those situational reps that we talked about. And the meeting in football is so different. You walk through in football more than any other sport. You walk through more than you actually play. So, and that's just the facts of all levels of football you walk through. Because every day you have a walkthrough, not every day do you have a practice. And so he's getting those, and our job as coaches is to challenge him, in different looks that he's not getting at speed. So when he gets out there, he'll be ready. So, there is no – you get better at playing football you get better at football by playing football. There is no doubt about that. So, he's missing missing some opportunities out here, but he's doing everything he can do. And that's what, at the end of the day, we can only control what we can control. And I think he's doing a nice job of that.
CJ, there was a thought when you guys re-signed him that maybe the defense was missing some of his energy and toughness last year. In camp, how do you evaluate the toughness level of your defense?
Yeah, we talk about that every day. Just the toughness comes in three areas we talk about a lot. It comes in physical toughness, which can be seen on the field, right, through the way we, let's just speak of defense, the way we tackle, the way we defeat blocks, the way we, both at the linebacker level and at the safety level and at the defensive line level. Then it can be seen through the mental toughness, right, and that's just having the same attitude and effort and energy no matter what you feel like. We're coming off a day off. How are we going to be today? It's got to look the exact same because no one gives you, you're coming off a bye week. You got to be. There's so many different scenarios like that. So, and no matter what's going on in your life or anything, being the same guy every single day. And then we talk about toughness and relentless effort and just hustling to the ball. Because we know if we hustle to the football, right, and we have a motor to the football, you're going to eliminate some big plays just by playing harder than other people, right? So, and also population of football takes the football away. And so all our guys are working like crazy to do that. That's on the team meeting every single day of, the toughness, both offensively and defensively, and those three aspects that are shown. And I really like where we are right now with that. Now we got to keep doing it. It's 2 weeks in. Anyone can do it for 2 weeks. It's being consistent with that toughness. And Chauncey just brings an element of toughness to this football team. He has relentless effort, right? He does do a great job of tackling and defeating blocks. I think back to the last tackle, really I've seen him make for the Philadelphia Eagles is that hit he had in the Super Bowl that was, man, I can't believe that guy hung on to that football on that one. It was a great play by both guys. But he brings that, right? He brings the knocking the guy out of bounds from the white through the white to the other side that I've seen so many times from him. And then he plays his butt off, and he plays hard. And so I love that we have him back. I don't think it's any secret. I'm a huge fan of Chauncey and the things that he brings to our football team because it represents a lot of things that we want to be about here. I think he's a great teammate, and look forward to continuing to see him grow as a player.
Nick, in years past, you've picked out videos to show the team to kind of help drive teaching points home, I guess. Is that something you're still doing, and if so, what kind of videos?
Yeah, you always do stuff like that, but I think we're getting a lot of videos from our practice, right? This is what it's supposed to look like. This is what I don't think there's any better coaching point. We can talk until we're blue in the face, but coaching points are made in that film room on the field, but they're really made in that film room showing them exactly what the standard's supposed to look like, what it can't look like, and then constantly coming back to that. And it's really never personal. It's always, hey, here's what met the standard, and here's what didn't meet the standard. And so that's the video. I mean, we'll show videos, all the time, but those are the main ones on my mind right now that are happening. And then go back to Bo, your question. I wanted to mention this guy, another new addition to our team that I think brings an element of toughness with the way he plays, with his motor, with the way he strikes blocks, is Zack Baun. And it shows not only in his, on the defensive side, but it also shows during special teams. Like, this guy is a tough dude that plays with great detail and great passion for this game with physicality.
Last one?
with Sidney Brown, do you expect him back at some point in the preseason?
We'll see. Again, this is, never going to do a timetable on anyone. It's not fair for me to say that to you guys, and then there's a setback or there's an advancement in it, and it's not fair to those guys either. And so we'll see. I know, again, he's working his butt. Nobody works in that training room harder than him, and he's really working hard because he loves this game. He loves his teammates, and he wants to be out in that field.
All right, thanks.